So I've been thinking about this story of the man in the Bible. His name is Zacchaeus. I'm thinking about this story because I've been reading this really good book called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. I'm telling you, pick up that book. It will bless your soul. One of the things that he focused on in the book is competence versus character. I never really considered competence versus character or competence and character. I've never really put them together in my mind like that. When I think of this guy Zacchaeus in Luke 19, we see a man who is very competent. He's a tax collector. He's making the dough. He knows how to bring in the coins. Maybe not all on the up and up, but he knew how to bring in the coins. And he heard that Jesus was passing through Jericho. And you know what this man did? He was so sure that he ran on top of a sycamore tree because, he just had to see Jesus. He thought it was so important to see who this character was. Who is this Jesus? And something that stands out to me about this man is that he knew that although he was competent, he recognized that it was time to upgrade, level up on his character. He was competent, but he recognized that he had some character deficiencies. And that's so important for me to extract from that because a lot of times, like I said, I didn't really consider competence versus character. I always admire character in myself. Like there's certain things that I think is really important. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I want to know that I'm going to do it. If I say yes, I mean yes. If I say I'm going to show up somewhere at this hour, I want to be there on time. But I really put it against competence because I also think that competence is really important. As I mature in my soul and in my character, I'm realizing that character is so much more important than competence. If you have any doubt, look at all the people that we know that are very competent, CEOs, leaders of mega churches. Sometimes in our own lives, we see that we're competent in things, but then we crash and burn because we didn't work on our character. But this gentleman, Zacchaeus, he was like, God, Jesus, if I've done anything, if I've wronged anybody, I'll pay them back 4 times as much. I mean, he was just willing to do whatever it is to let Jesus know that he was ready for the maturing of his soul. And I think that's the thing that's so critical. A lot of times we're focused on the competence, bringing in the coin, saying that we are this and we're business owners and we are wives and we are husbands, but we're not focused on the maturing of our souls. On this Tuesday, I'm calling us to prioritize the maturing of our souls. And just like Zacchaeus, who saw the need, he saw the urgency, he saw the importance to embrace the fact that his character needed to be upgraded immediately. That is so important because, a lot of times what we don't realize that 99% of our failures is not necessarily because of our competence. It's because of our character. That's one of the stats I got from reading that great book I just mentioned, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Think about it. I know for myself, I just got over COVID. It's been hard for me to get back on the wagon and make my juices and go to the gym. Why? Because every time I think, okay, I need to walk on the block and walk to the gym, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll do it later. That's a character failing of mine. Knowing what I need to do, but not doing it. Knowing I need to get up and make the juice, but I'm not doing it. Okay? Knowing that I need to go on a walk with my daughter, for example, which I typically do, and putting it off. These are character failings that in the moment, they don't seem like a big deal, but over time, they add up. He made a funny joke in one of his illustrations. He said, unlike what Forrest Gump said, life is not a box of chocolate. You don't know what you're going to get. He said, instead, life is like a box of jalapenos. When you bite it, it burns your butt later. So true. That is the epitome of character breakdown. So I just want to encourage us today to consider where we are. And you may be asking, what does this have to do with anxiety? Well, character applies to everything. That's the thing about character. It applies across the board because you may be needing to work on your emotional healing. You may be needing to get on a personal development plan. You may be needing to go to a therapist. You may be needing to get really serious about it, but you've been putting it off. That's a character flaw. Character breakdown that compounds over time and leaves us bankrupt. So aspire this Tuesday to say to yourself, I'm not just going to be about competence. I'm going to be about my character because the height of my personal growth is based on the level of my character growth. You grow as high as your character grows. And that's what I'm learning for myself. I'm relearning these things. I'm reintegrating them in my life. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Go ahead, click the link, start on your personal development plan today. Do not neglect it because you don't want it to burn your butt later. All right. Please have a great day. At Eve Speaks, all we do all day long is heal, aspire, and grow. Competence and character, they're equally important. What are you doing right now to work on your character so that it can up-level your competence. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next